Hi guys, I have been in the mood for some wonton soup recently. I make my own and I make it from scratch, and the first step is making your filling. And what I have in here is about a half a pound of pork, about 6 or 8 medium-sized shrimp, a couple tablespoons of walnut, a couple of stalks of green onions, and then for my flavorings I have a few drops of sesame oil, some soy sauce, and some oyster sauce, a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of black pepper, and lots of garlic. And I ran it through my food processor. What I have to do now is I will be covering it and putting it away in the refrigerator for a half an hour or more, and more is better because that allows the flavors to develop in your meat and in your shrimp. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start wrapping them, okay? Hi guys, okay, I'm ready to start making the wontons. The amount of filling that I made earlier, it was only, I don't think there's even a pound of it, but you only use a little bit per wonton, and so this will make several dozen, I'm sure. Alright, all I do is I take a little bit of the filling, put it in the center, I dip my finger in some beaten egg, I hope this is showing, and then I bring the opposing points together to form a triangle. Can you see that? And I kind of press the dough together around the little filling pocket. And to get that traditional wonton shape, you take this thing and you bring the point towards your body, and then you just take the ends and cross them over and press. Whoops, I needed to put a little egg wash on there. Okay, so you bring the points together and that gives you your traditional wonton shape. Let me do another one, okay? This is my first time in using this tripod, so pardon me. I know the lighting needs a lot of work, but we'll get there. But this was something I really wanted to show you because this is so good and it's so easy to do. Alright, so I have my filling here in the center of the wonton. I dip my fingers in some egg wash. You just need to do two sides. Then you bring the points together. Okay, like that. And then you just kind of press it so that the wonton sticks to itself. Then you turn it around so that the point is facing you. Then you dip your finger in the egg wash again, and then you bring it together and fold it over like the wings of a bird. Do you see that? That is so easy. I've got my wontons all filled and wrapped. Oh, I imagine I got about at least 3 dozen. And while I was doing that, I was heating water. There's no salt added to this because you're going to get salt from the soy sauce and the oyster sauce later on. So what I'm doing now is I am parboiling these. You don't have to. If you don't want to use these right away, you can put them in the freezer raw. But I like to cook them up ahead of time and then use them as needed. And then that way I know that the meat is cooked through. They take about, well, once you bring them to a boil, they take about 2 minutes. So I'll continue to do that until they're all finished up. I just wanted to add that when they are pretty much done, they float to the surface. Here are a few of them. They do lose their shape just a little tiny bit. But if you go to a Chinese restaurant, you'll see that the ones that they make do the same thing. The wontons tend to wrinkle up a little bit, but believe me, it doesn't affect the flavor or the authenticity one little bit. And finally, what I do is I bring a can of chicken broth to a boil. I add about 5 of the pre-cooked wontons. I did add a couple of drops of oyster sauce to the broth. It's up to you if you want to, or you could take add a couple drops of soy sauce and All this needs to do now is just heat through. I'll let it come back up to a boil, and that's pretty much all it needs. Okay, turn off the heat. Get your serving dish ready. Scoop out the wontons that are nice and hot now. Top it with some of that delicious broth. As much or as little as you want. I'm sorry about the steam. And finally, a little garnish of sliced green onion, just like they do at the restaurant. And believe me, when I tell you, you will not be able to tell the difference between your own homemade, from scratch, wonton soup and what you get at a Chinese restaurant. It is that good, believe me. If anybody's interested, I will put a detailed recipe further on down. Just let me know and I'd be glad to do it. Altogether, if you count the time that it took me to prepare the filling and that, I'm going to say it took me about 1 hour and 15 minutes. However, I got 3 dozen wontons that are going to go into my freezer, most of them, and will be ready to serve whenever I'm in the mood for wonton soup. Let me know if you like this. Okay, give me a thumbs up and maybe share this with a friend who likes Chinese food, and I'll see you later, okay? Bye-bye.